Ma'am, we are live now.
Hi everyone. Today I have the pleasure of having Dr. Saipriya with me. I read a message yesterday, and the moment I read it, I was like, people need to know this story, and there are so many students who are going to be inspired by you. So please introduce yourself. Before you do that, I just want to tell everyone that she scored a whopping rank of 170, and she started off with 13,000, and now she's at a triple digit score in INICET. And please tell us your background, and take us through your journey.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, so I've basically done my MBBS from DMC in Ludhiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave my first attempt at competitive exams during my internship year. So
Mm-hmm.
the first exam that I gave was INICET in May 2022. And in that, I got a rank of 13,000.
Correct.
And after that, I gave INICET again in November, in which I improved slightly to 1.7K.
Mm-hmm.
And now in this exam, I've got 170.
Amazing. So you've improved 10 folds in every exam that you give,
Almost, yes.
which is amazing. And I'm sure everybody wants to emulate this journey, from a private college to 170 to entering into a central institute. I'm sure, your parents are feeling very proud. You are very proud. I am very proud of you. So
Thank you, ma'am.
congratulations, and tell us how did you do this?
Ma'am, so basically, uh, honestly, I didn't study much during internship because when we start, most of us are thrown into this phase of preparation after final year, and then we're ki humne dena exam. So when we are thrown into this, we're so lost, honestly, because there are so many platforms, there is so much knowledge, there's so much information out there. So that was the boat I was in during internship. We're more concerned with making notes and, writing our notes rather than reading them, analyzing them, understanding what is important when it comes to the exam. Then we hear a lot about first aid, which I learned through YouTube, through you. So during my internship, I had only managed to annotate my first aid for micro and pharma.
Okay.
So honestly, I gave the first INI studying around 5 subjects and not even studying them well. And after that, it was like I had like a kind of decent rank in NEET, and a lot of people wanted me to just take any branch that I was getting anywhere. But I wanted to give it a try. Like I wanted to prove to myself that I can do something. So I chose to take a drop. And after that, I was exposed to like a lot of your classes, and I was doing them quite religiously. I was following everything that you said. So during the first few months of my preparation, I think the most important thing that I managed to do was decide कि मैंने यहाँ से पढ़ना है, that I will only study from here.
I think
And I
that's
want
part for most of your friends also, because now there is so much, and all of it is good. There are so many good resources out there that the first step is the most difficult, is to narrow down ki kahan se padhna hai, which you did.
yes. So I just chose something and I followed it. I wanted to just strengthen at least the basic subjects, especially like first year, second year, obs gynae, uh, PSM, those kind of subjects, which
Yes.
after a lot of like research and understanding, I realized that these are the subjects that are important. So
Yes.
I spent a good amount of time doing that, and it took a lot of time. It took a lot of dedication. But after that, around like before the November I had managed to do only around 13 subjects. And ma'am, after that, I think you had told us that you have to start consolidating everything now. So I did that. Like I did that very, very religiously. By the end of December, आपने बोला था कि you have to make like 2-3 pages of notes, and that's what you're supposed to read. So that's all I did. I would read the topic, I would do previous year questions of just that topic, and I would just add it to one source. So in that way, for almost 17 out of 19 subjects, I had just 3 sheets of paper for most of the subjects.
Yeah.
And after that, I just revised. That's all I did, honestly. I didn't do anything out of the blue. I don't know how this happened to me, but I just followed everything you said. And the most important thing is I had a study partner with me, Palak, and the two of us decided after November INI कि मैम जो भी करेंगी हमने करना है. मैम बोलेगी कि कुएं में कूद जाओ, हम कुएं में कूद जाएंगे. So we followed everything that you told us.
That's so heartening, and I'm so happy, that you got the result. कि अब cool में नहीं कूदना पड़ा, you got the result. I'm relieved, more than happy. So that's good. And tell me about this process, because what you said, I think is something that most of the people miss. They try to do everything, and in the process, they're not able to consolidate things. And consolidation does not mean that you just do that much. It's come after doing all of it, so that process is very important. The message shouldn't be कि 3 pages ही पढ़ने हैं, उसी से question आ गया तो आपका सही हो जाएगा. No, those 3 pages are a hard work, are a result of the hard work of an entire year. And by what you said कि मैंने इतने subjects किए थे, what I could gather is कि जो भी किया वो अच्छे से किया है. चाहे subjects miss हो गए, but whatever were the number of subjects that you had done before an exam, you had done them well, and that's why you were able to consolidate it. Okay. You also mentioned you'd attended the offline classes. I'm just without any sort of promotion angle. I just want to know how it actually helped, because I'm also new to this. So I also want to know, how it helped and how I can also improve, going forwards.
Ma'am, so I attended both the offline BTRs. I attended the one before NEET and INICET
and April.
Okay. And April, yes, ma'am. So the February one was really useful for me because it was just an entire revision of 19 subjects, which honestly, आप भी बोलते थे, it's not possible for us to do it ourselves.
Yes. So
we can't
bring together like all 19 subjects.
Yes, ma'am. It helps to bring everything together. And it's not just that, it's also because during the BTR, you teach us how to eliminate options, how to attempt an MCQ, how to get into the mindset of the examiner. So I think that really helped me. I could feel myself emulating you during the exam, that this is how ma'am would do it,
So yeah. Like, what did you do after it? Like, how do people make the best of it is what I actually want to get at, So how did you utilize both of the classes differently?
Ma'am, so for the one before NEET, I after the class was over, I would go back and I quickly go through it. And then in the days leading up to the exam, a week leading up to the exam, I read it once, cover to cover. Yeah. And then just a few subjects which I felt were very volatile for me, I studied those from my original source so that I have that peace of mind. Ki pad liya ek baar. Good. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and then for INICET, honestly, I didn't study after NEET much, to be very honest.
Rank?
Ma'am, 912.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. So you've only improved with every exam that you've given. Did you learn from the exam giving experience as well? Like while you were giving these exams, have you learned how to give a better exam? Because that is so important.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. In the previous November exam, I knew that I knew the questions, but I didn't know how to approach the paper. I couldn't apply logic. I couldn't figure out how to mark the question because AIMS are very lengthy options. You don't feel like reading them. When you read them, you're like lost in the middle. So during the November exam, that's something I definitely learned. And in NEET, honestly, I attended one of your online YouTube sessions, and you had given like really good advice regarding how to approach the paper. Before my NEET exam, I hadn't slept at all, but still I could apply everything that you had said. And in this INI, because I had not studied at all, I had just attended your offline BTR for 3 days. And it was a really amazing revision for me because I was able to recall actively.
Yeah, because you've done the same source. Yeah.
I had just done your revision classes. So because of that, I was able to actively recall. As you were teaching, I was able to recall like the words. I could recall the pictures that you put in the same order that you put them.
Amazing.
So it was just active recall. And I think that was the best way for me. If I had not attended it, I probably would not have gotten this rank.
No, I don't think that's true. You would have still managed to get it because I think your process was correct. And what I can sense is you had learned how to give a good exam. You know, you knew that, all right, padhai ek taraf hai, wo nahi bhi hua, still if I give a good exam, you know, I'll be able to crack it. I think that's why you didn't study, because you had that subconscious thought ki theek hai, exam dena aata hai. You know, that's what I same thing happened with me. You know, I didn't study much after my NEET and enhanced ranks, because I knew ki theek hai, you know, there is a seat and I know how to crack MCQs. I think you also figured it out through your improvement and through your journey, and that is what is very important for all of the students also who are gonna listen to this. Apart from this, also to have that conviction that I can improve, you know, no matter where I've done my MBBS from and I've not studied anything during MBBS, still I can do this. That conviction is very important. So how do you think you got that? A lot of students who wouldn't have done well in the exams, you know, NEET and INI, would be here looking for hope कि हम भी शायद कर सकते हैं जो साइप्रिया ने किया है. So what do you want to tell them कि हो सकता है and क्यों हो सकता है?
मैम, आई थिंक डेफिनेटली हो सकता है. अगर मैंने किया है तो कोई भी कर सकता है, ऑनेस्टली, बिकॉज I just think it's really important not to get caught in a trap of trying to do everything but not managing to do anything. Just like I followed you blindly, I've said it, and I owe like all of my improvement and all my results to you completely. But I feel it's very important to have that one mentor also who can guide you.
Yes.
So for me, that was you. And ma'am, I just feel that we tend to tell ourselves a lot कि मैं तो I had this mindset that aims तो मैं कैसे करूँगी, you know, like it's out of my league. I don't understand the questions.
So many people think that, you know, and they would otherwise have gotten a 2-digit rank, a 3-digit rank, and they just give up because they think कि मेरे बस की नहीं है, INICET I shouldn't give, you know. So I think you are doing a very important duty right now, telling them that it is very much possible, you know. You just gotta have faith, and you know, the process has to be correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing.
It was just in this exam, because I had not studied, like you always tell us, don't take the pressure of your previous results. Don't take that baggage and go. So
Yes.
I went completely chill. And this time I was able to use a lot of logic somehow. And
Good.
that one thing that you had said on YouTube, that rule out answers, but don't rule yourself out. I was just repeating that to myself in the exam, even when the questions seemed just out of, like, I don't know what those questions were, but yeah. So I think that.
Sorry, go on.
No, ma'am, that's it.
I was just curious, you know, when you mentioned about the options, I was just curious that this time the exam was actually, because you've given like 3 INIs, like was it more difficult, or you felt like it was as always that 20 questions usually are, you know, out of the box and almost borderline crazy? Was it the same, or it was a bit more crazier this time?
Ma'am, it was crazier this time. I genuinely felt. I mean, in the last INIs, at least it felt that if I had studied better, then maybe I could have done something. But I feel like in this INI, it was very unpredictable, because there were not a lot of previous year questions.
Yes.
They were just out of the blue random questions. But again, what you always say, that just apply logic, you know. And you always say there are 4 answers in front of you, just have to choose the correct one. It's right in front of you. So that's just what I tried to do.
So you gave a good exam, and I think in essence, you know, ultimately it's not about those crazy questions. They don't really matter. Why you got the rank is because the other questions were sorted. The 100 probable questions, you know, which you had to know, you marked them correct, and then almost 80 and maybe probably this time 90 questions were where you can eliminate a few and then you have to take guesswork.
Yes,
That's how AIMS always is plus minus 10 questions here and there, you know. So this time it was plus 10. It's minus 10. So, you know, that's how AIMS is. So I think people need not be bogged down by this level of the exam, and don't, you know, start doing resources which are, you know, giving you about vancomycin, normogram and all. It's not needed, you know. Those questions don't change your rank. I think that's
Right.
very important. Those
Yes.
post-its behind you, did you read them before they?
Ma'am, I know you say it was always in front of me for the year. So something or the other used to go inside, but in your choti copy is what I did. I attended your Ashirwad class before INICT, and in that you had written level 3 is last minute list. So I was like, kuch nahi kiya 2 mahine, so I might as well do that. That's all I did.
Amazing. That's amazing. Because I also had similar post-its. I never read them. वो passive reading वो होता है. You are just seeing them, but then you never actively read them. So I was just not, Amazing, Saipriya. It was great talking to you, and I'm sure
Same
you're
here.
going to inspire so many juniors. And thank you so much for talking to me. It was.
Thank you so much for having me, ma'am. And if anyone is watching, I just want to say follow Zainab ma'am blindly.
Thank you.
Follow whatever she says
I have not
because
paid her disclaimer.
no, but just follow ma'am or just find any mentor who's ready to guide you without any
Yes.
personal agenda, you know.
I
Yeah.
think just have faith on whatever you're doing and don't be in this FOMO. FOMO is, I think, the new in word,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
drop the FOMO and trust whatever you are doing, and do it well.
Yes,
That's what's the most important.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and it's possible for anyone, I think.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
you are a very big example, and many congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and all the best. And I'll see you
Thank you, ma'am. It was so nice talking to you.
here. Thank you. Bye.